can I say? Wow, wow, fucking wow. Look at my hair, he's cutting big time. I just want to say, I have nothing to say. I just want to say that I have nothing to say. I just want to say that I have nothing to say at all of any importance to anybody unless it's important to you. In which case, you might have something important to say. Ultimately, yes, I need to get my hair cut. Yes, I do need to get my hair cut. But I still look cool. I'm quite happy with it. What can I say? Like, what a day, man. Fucking what a day. And this is what my life is like. This is like my life. This is my life, yeah? This is my life. Like, this is my life. And this is my purpose. And it stays like today. And it stays like today. That, this is why I do what I do, yeah? This is exactly why I do what I do. I'm different level. I'm different gravy. Not in a bad way, not in a good way. But I'm just blown over by a philosophy that I'm blown over by a philosophy that I've managed to figure out by myself. And when I talk people through it, and I talk to people and I say, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it, this is why it's real, it's because it's child focused, blah, blah, blah. They don't always agree with me. They generally look at me like I'm crazy. They generally look at me like I'm mad. But, there is no other way of doing shit other than this way. And it shows again and again and again and again and again. I know more than solicitors. I know more than barristers. I know more than these fucking people who get paid. That you all think that you need a solicitor, and barrister, and this and that, and go family court. No, you don't. You don't at all. I see it time and time and time again. Like, they make mountains out of molehills. Even as far as today. Even as far as today. Trying to go to X, Y, and Z stuff. And it's like, am I sitting in a different room? I mean, am I even here? Because this is not necessary. This whole this, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this. Well, you don't know, do you? Because the courts have seen lots worse than what you've got in front of you. And that's what does my head in. It's like, you lot who's like, I've got skills. Like, literally, I've got skills. I'm blowing smoke up my own ass. I've experienced enough, I've seen enough, I've learned enough educationally, officially educationally, to be able to get through what I'm going through, to be able to help the people I help. And this is my purpose. This is like, I am so like, I'm blown over. Like, when I say stars and the moons to people, when I say stars and the moons, you've got to put your faith in the stars and the moons. Put your faith in the stars and the moons. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. They look at me like, he's fucking mental. He is actually really fucking mental. No, I just know when people are telling the truth, and I know when people are talking shit. I won't tell people when I know they're talking shit. I just won't tell them. I just go, okay, and crack on. But ultimately, what we've had today is exceptional. Like, exceptional. Owning your shit again. Owning your shit. Being humble. Showing sacrifice. Offering compromise. Being pragmatic. Fucking child focused. People underestimate the knowledge that I have and how I get people through these things. Because people, let's be honest, when you go through breakup, when you go through breakup and you're divorced and shit, and there's kids involved, there's nothing more painful. Yeah, you've got a lot of anger, you've got a lot of hate, you've got a lot of whatever for each other. Mum and dad both hate each other, and that's acceptable because you're both falling out with each other. That's fine. No, get down. And that's fine because that's acceptable. But that feeling that you have, the hate that you have, the hate that you have, the anger that you have, that can't stay there forever. It can't stay there forever. It's not going to do you any good. It won't do you any good because you can't think logically when you're angry. You can't do things when you're angry. And you're not being child focused when you're angry. Now, I've got a number of people that don't want me supporting their partners. And I'm tired of that. I love it. I love it because you're not going to get me out of your court case because ultimately I don't do anything important other than educate the service user on how to be child focused. And the people hate that because they don't want people being child focused. The people I'm going against don't want their partners to be child focused. they'd much rather than fight and argue so they don't have any contact with their children. And because I can educate them and tell them real life stories, real life examples, real life scenarios of how their behavior will impact their children, because I've made the mistakes, because I've had to apologize to my daughter because of my own areas of judgment, arguing with my ex-wife, owning my shit to my daughter, explaining what happens and how my daughter feels. My daughter tells me how she feels and what she's been through and shit. I've literally just been sitting at the train station talking to somebody else about something else that was going on, and I started crying. I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, and let me be clear. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have bad days. Yeah, we'll have bad days. Yeah, I'm sure we'll. But if you're with me, then you're gonna be okay. If you're not with me, yeah. And the people that are, and this happens a lot. This happens a lot, right? People think, oh yeah, I've had my first case, had my first hearing, had my 2 hearings. Yep. Don't need Jason anymore. I can do it for myself. It's so easy. Look, Jason makes it look so easy. You have not got a fucking Scooby-Doo how easy it is. It's not easy at all. Because I have to make decisions on the impact of what I'm suggesting to do, and I have to make decisions that impact your family. And it's the final decision is always with the person, with the service user. But it's such a beautiful thing when I'm suggesting stuff and we do it and we go down this road and we do what we're doing and it comes out right because we're owning our shit, we're being honest, we're being real. And I can't be. This is my purpose, and this is why I do what I do. And this is why no one will ever stop me from doing what I do, because I'm not being funny. Like, I will change. I am on a mission to change how people perceive family court. I am not no secret to it. It was a beautiful thing today seeing. I'm actually like now going into courts. The judges and magistrates recognise me, not just because I've got a stupid haircut and I go into court wearing like this shit, but because the people that I work with, the people that I support, they do the right things. They say the right stuff and they do the right stuff and they feel the right stuff. And those that don't behave themselves don't get to see their kids, and then they go off and slag me off afterwards because they don't want to. They much rather again blame someone else other than take responsibility for themselves. And I've got a few people. This is a message for the few people. There's probably about 4 people that this is for. Like, you are, and you'll know when you hear this. You'll know when you hear this. This will be who this is for if it's for you. I know what I'm after you ask, what I'm suggesting, what I'm proposing is very difficult, and it goes against every single moral fibre of your body, because you're the mum or you're the dad, and you know best, and you believe that you know best for your child, and you probably do know best for your child, but in the eyes of the courts, you don't. And I can understand everybody's argument. I can understand the court's arguments, and I can understand my service users' arguments. But if you cannot, and this is being straight here, and I saw a video, Phil Kedge video earlier, and he said he articulates himself so much better than what I do. But he said, the courts do not give a shit for you, mum. The courts do not give a shit. This is obviously articulated a little bit better than this. The courts do not give a shit for you, dad. The courts are making decisions based on what they believe is in the best interest of your child. And if you are unable to see what they are doing, then you're going to walk out of court without the order that you want, and you're going to end up making it harder to even go back into court in the future and get the order that you want, because you're unable to see the world through anybody else's eyes other than your own. And if you're unable to see the world through anybody else's eyes other than your own, then you're not being child focused. And that means making decisions that you don't want to make. That means, let me think. Let me just use myself as an example. I would like to pick my daughter up from school or meet my daughter from school every single day. I would like to be able to see her every other week, every weekend. I'd like to see her every evening. I'd like to be able to cook her dinner. I'd like to walk her to school. I'd like to get her on the bus with her every single day. Every single day. But I can't. And that's a choice that I've made, agreeing with Lila, not following the court order that we've got, because we've got a court order that says equal shared care. 1 week with me and 1 week with the mum, and then the recitals all over it. So I went again. I went before. This is how it works. I'm in court saying, this is what Lila wants, this is what Lila wants. My ex-wife went to court saying, yeah, we don't want a court order, we don't want a court order because she wanted to child maintenance and blah, blah, blah. I explained this up to the judge. I don't want a court order. I've been saying I don't want a court order. I didn't want a court order for like 6 years. And now my daughter gets to an age where she's old enough to have her own voice. And now look, my ex-wife doesn't want a court order. Why is that? Oh, because she can go up and get some fucking child maintenance. And because there'll be a court order that says nothing. The judge sees this and she sees my ex-wife's poor behaviour. They nailed her to the floor. They will not send women to prison. They will not send. It's very difficult to get women to do unpaid work because they will say that it's not in the interest of the child. Because if they're not working, they have to be picked up by the mum. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's really difficult. So that, and I accept that. I understand that. I accept that. I understand that. Because if anything bad happens to if anything bad, and this is where you need to get your heads to. This is where you need to get your head to. If anything bad happens to you, all love your kids. I get it. All your single dads, all your separated dads, separated mums, whatever it might be. You love your children, but you're not getting on with your ex-partners. You want to see your children happy. You want to see your children doing well. You want to see your children thriving. You want to tucking them in bed at night and that sort of shit. What happens if your ex-partner dies? What happens if he gets run over by a helicopter? Or she gets run over by an aeroplane? That might make you happy. Might give you a little bit of warm feeling in your belly, knowing that the person you despise so much has made your life so difficult. It's not in your life anymore. But it's your child's life. It's your child's. Is that going to make your child happy? I know for a fact that if anything bad happened to my ex-wife, my daughter would be devastated. Devastated. And I wouldn't better bring that. I wouldn't better fix that. But what I would better do, and what I would better do, and what I would do is I'd make sure that if I was there to see, if I saw my ex-wife being hurt, being damaged, being anything bad happening to her, I would protect her. It hurts because she would not do the same for me. But I'd protect her for my daughter. Because my daughter's happiness is more important than mine. But there's people out there, and I get it. I get it because you're upset and hurt and whatever. And it's taken me 11 years to get to where I'm at. It's taken me 11 years to get to where I'm at, yeah? So I'm not saying you should be, fucking doing the same what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing. You shouldn't be. Because it's a journey. It's a journey, yeah? But you cannot put aside your feelings for your children, for your children's happiness. Then what is your purpose of being a parent? Oh, well, I'm not going to see him. I'm going to miss so much. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss that. Yeah, you will. I started my daughter's line. I started riding the bike. Didn't get to finish off. I had to pay £50 per tooth, and we had to make sure that she had to make sure the tooth didn't fall out until it come to me because her mum would keep the teeth. I had to convince her. I had a gangster tooth fairy. £50 per tooth. I've got a pot of them. There's like 5 of them. 5 teeth. Was it 55? 250 quid. 250 quid for my daughter's teeth. Days like today make what I do worth doing. Yeah, because the hurt that people are feeling, the hurt that people feel. We're not seeing their kids through the attachment's gone, their world is upside down, they've had to start again. I get it. Because I've done it, I've seen it. And it's not easy. It's absolutely not easy rebuilding your life again afterwards. After you've given everything to someone. Like everything. And then they use everything that you give them. They use it against you. So it's not easy. And I don't trust it, people. I don't trust people. I don't trust even my services. Like people are idiots, yeah? People can be idiots. But everyone's got a heart. Everyone's got a heart and everyone's got love. Everyone. So I won't judge. And I will let people be. And this is where I'm a mug. I will let people just mug me off and I'll still help them afterwards. Don't get me wrong, right? You have the right to be sad. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to be pissed off. But if you were to control if someone wants to control you the way that you want to control your child, let's put this to the alienators. Let's put this to the alienators. Let's put this to the parents that are alienating their children from their non-residing parent. If someone tries controlling you the way that you're controlling your child, would that be acceptable? And you might say, well, I'm doing it for my child's best interest, doing it for my child's best interest. Well, someone might be protecting you for your own best interest, but is that okay? No. You cannot control your children. We're not here to be controlled. As adults, we're not controlled. We can't be controlled. As children, you can't control them. I just want to say, really, like, I'm crashing soon because I've been up since like I got out to sleep, and then I had to. Like, the train was like a long journey today, and it was worth it. It was good. It was good because we're going into court with love. We're going into court owning our shit, and people can't argue with that. You can't argue with it. Solicitors will try, and they will try to fucking make something out of nothing. And the process is the process. So you will find that, yeah, okay, fine. Well, we do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. That's only because they're going through the process. Only because they're going through the process. And I see it again firsthand today. That, like, literally allegations that you would not believe, like serious allegations. Like, and then you're going to propose half a day for finding facts, even with all these allegations. Oh, hang on a minute. But your client isn't even. Oh, it does my head in. It does my head in. So, and I've been doing this for 11 years. I've experienced it for 11 years. Those that are coming into this now just be like, it doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It is not logical how people do it. It's not logical until you see that the courts have got a really difficult decision to do, really difficult things to do. And that's why your behaviour, everything you do leading up to court, is going to impact your first court hearing. Today was a fucking brilliant result. And then even better than that, the stars and the moons look after something else for me afterwards. And even better than that, someone who fucking stitched me up, like literally stitched me up over the Christmas period, and said, "Oh, doesn't want to pay me, doesn't want to pay me." Left me short, left me really, really short. And guess what? He called me up. Oh yeah, Jason, I need your help. I actually said no. I'm not wasting my time with you because you deserve to be fucked over. Not fucked over by me. You were lying to me. He was lying to me in the first place. And then he's got the core thinking he's got all this in the bag. People forget the direction I give them is valuable. People understand. You get these people mocking me and this and whatever else. Oh, I go to court wearing this. I go to court. I've got a fucking shaggy head or whatever. I am worthy of what I do, and I'm the best at what I do because I've taken a negative shit that's happened to me in my child, and this is the fact. Yeah, I can read the rooms. I can see things that no one else can see. And that is because of the trauma that I've experienced as a child, because I had to adapt as a child to make sure that I wasn't going to get told off. So I had to read body language from a very young age. And that's what's given me the abilities that I have now. People can't do what I do. There are some people that can do similar to what I do, but they can't. I can see when people talk, I can see I'm not rude, but I do what I want to do. And even when a solicitor was speaking to me today, I went down just because my legs are fucked and my legs are getting a bit like, because I lost my leg last year or whatever it was. It's gone like a bit of an elephant man's leg. So I can't feel my toes, which is a bit of a problem because I can't feel my toes. So it's like, is that normal? I don't know. But again, any normal person be like, oh, I can't feel my toes, I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm not going to the fucking hospital. I've got a client that needs to see me. I need to see. And that's how much I care for my clients. That's how much I care for my service users because I know how they feel. I care. And the happiness I feel when they're nervous and worried like hell, and I can see everything's going to be okay, and then it does go okay. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't always go okay. It doesn't always. I get it wrong sometimes, but I know there's lots of people that are hurting. I know there's loads of people that are hurting. I know there's loads of people that are hurting. And the difference between me and other people is I don't care about, I do care about your feelings. Of course I care about your feelings. But I will tell you what you need to hear, what you need to know, not what you want to know. I won't blow smoke up your ass. If you're doing something wrong, I'll say, no, you can't be doing that. No, you're not child focused. No, you're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. I don't know many. I definitely know solicitors don't do it. Solicitors will let someone make them. Solicitors will be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all this, I'm going to do all that, I'm going to do this, and then they get in the court, and then they realise that we're smarter, and then somebody goes, oh, my client says this, my client says that. Before that, it's all working together. Then they realise that the client's talking doo-doo, and then they have to go, oh, my client says this, my client says that. We need to change how family court works. We need to change how, and that only starts with people going into family court. It starts with people going into family court with the right approach, the right attitude, and that is with love. Yeah, with love. I'm seeing all these, I'm watching, I'm coming on social media trying to understand stuff, and how people can get thousands of views and thousands of fucking likes and thousands of this, whatever. So I'm watching their stuff. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they saying? And all they're doing is they're saying negative shit. So they say fathers fight, and I used to say, fathers need to fight for their rights. Fight for your rights, fathers. No, don't fight for your rights. Don't fucking fight for your rights. Love your rights. Love for your rights. You've got kids. Why would you fight? Everyone's system, everyone's way, everyone's doing it is all wrong. You're in a fucking family court. You're in a child court, and you're going to go in there fighting. Oh, and your children want to see that, and the courts want to see you fighting. Yeah, of course they do. No, they want to see you being honest. They want to see you learning. They want to see you. They want to see all the stuff that I say. And I've studied this shit. I've studied it for 10 years, 11 years this year. Going through it, being through it, thousands of cases, over 10,000 cases, directly and indirectly. Well, 6,000, over 6,000 directly, including the indirect ones, over 11,000. But that's it. That's all I've got to say. If anyone needs actual, really real help, real help through family court, which means I won't be blowing smoke up your ass, which means you will have to change, because I won't be like, say, oh yeah, if you're wrong, then I'm going to say I think you're wrong. And that's again, that stems from, and again, people, I've got people who hate on me for telling them that they were wrong, and then they've got the court without me, because I didn't turn up. I'm like, you're not fucking playing your game, I'm not doing this shit. Then they've got the court, and they've been tapped over by the judge because they didn't listen to me. Because I was asking them to put themselves in their child's position, and they can't do it. It's narcissistic. If you cannot, like, let's be clear. Let's be really clear, right? It's a narcissistic behavior, very narcissistic behavior. If you cannot see the world from somebody else's from somebody else's perspective other than your own, if you cannot self-reflect, and you cannot say, you know what, I might be wrong here. I need to do something that's right for my child. I need to bite my tongue and do what's right for my kid. If you can't do that, I'm not saying everyone's narcissist. I'm not saying everyone's a narcissist, but I'm saying it's a narcissistic trait. The majority of people aren't narcissists. And in fact, the majority of people you might turn around and say who's a narcissist, who's a narcissist. No, it's narcissistic behaviours, not narcissists. But if you can't see the world from anybody else's perspective other than your own, then that's a very narcissistic trait. And if you can't compromise and sacrifice because you have to be right, that's a narcissistic trait. And I've got people that can't. I iron things out, I smooth things out for them. I'm like, yeah, let's just smooth it all out for you, smooth it all out. Give us some love, give us some love, give us some love. And then my client, he goes to use them. He starts communicating with the ex again, and he starts fighting again. And I'm like, what the fucking what? Why am I bothering? Why do I bother smoothing things out for you to go and smash things up again? Because you can't control your emotion. And I swear to God, people will lose their children. It is easier and easier and easier, and happening more and more and more. You will lose your children. You will lose your children if you cannot fucking co-parent, not even co-parent, even parallel parent, whatever. Just don't have conflict. Don't have the fight. Because I swear to God, the parents are alienating the children from the non-residing parent, whether it be mum or dad, because I know there's both. You are doing more damage to your child than anything that you could accuse your ex-partner of doing. You must say, I don't want him seeing my child. I don't want to see my child done this and this and this. Okay, but the professionals are saying that it's okay. Right, the professionals are wrong. That's the government you're talking to. You're saying the government are wrong, and you think you're going to win that argument? I don't know. I do know this though. I do know that the people who I work for and the people who are brave enough to um, sacrifice their own feelings for the need of the child and the need of the children, they come out right. Same as I did. Because you have to make sacrifices. You are no longer in a relationship. It's not 2.4 fucking families. Yeah, it's not. It's not that. But I have families. I've got. I can name them. There are beautiful families out there. There are beautiful families out there that are separated. Mum and dad are separated, but they are fucking co-parenting, and their kids are fucking. Their kids are doing so well. It's unbelievable. So it can be done. It's a choice. You all have a choice. This other thing. Like, it starts with you and it ends with you. Any problem there is you have in family court, it starts with you, it ends with you. Oh, she did this, she did that, he did this, he did that. No. What did you do? Stop pointing the fingers, stop blaming everyone else, look in the mirror, have a word with yourself in the mirror, and then say, what could you do differently? What could you do differently to influence your child in a positive way? I was a dick. I'm not saying, oh, I'm perfect. I wasn't. I was an absolute pat. Led by father's justice. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was an absolute idiot. So I'm trying to teach people not to be an idiot like I was, because it's not going to do your children any good. Because my daughter tells me how she's feeling. My daughter a few years ago was self-harming. Every August, every year, she'll go off the handle. She'll go off, and her mum doesn't get it. Her mum doesn't get it, but I get it because that's when we separated. 3rd of August. That's when everything kicked off. But people can't do that. People can't put themselves in their child's view. But I love my child. I love my child. You fucking don't love your child. Anyone who wants to hold resentment against their ex-partner and wants to damage their children, and I mean literally damage your children by, and I'm fortunate. I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones. I managed to do what I did and do what I do with my daughter to make sure that I have that relationship with her, even though I'm making the sacrifices, I'm making the compromises. I'm not. I should. Any other people would be like, I'm going back to court. I've got a court order in place. It's not being followed. Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, but that's not what my daughter wants. My daughter doesn't want that. So why would you do that? Well, because I want to see my daughter. Yeah, it's like you. That's like what you want. Yeah, but it's not right. It's miscarriage of justice. Yeah, that's you. That's what you want. What about your child? Like, I'll tell you now. Children do not like being taken out of their classroom. When Lila, my daughter, was the first person in a year for her parents to separate. She's now like the go-to person. She's now the go-to person. Everyone, when the parents separate, they go to Lila, and Lila, a bit like me, she's a bit like she's just a beautiful little soul, and I'm proud of her. But people go to her, but to get advice and to get help when their parents separate. But there was no pride. She had no fun. There's no fun in being taken out of your classroom. And everyone, all your other kids, when you're in primary school, why should she get taken out of the classroom? Why should she being treated differently? Obviously, as they get older, it's easier to understand. They understand it more. But you have no idea. And if you can't see it, and if you can see it, you're doing nothing about it, you're not going to get a court order that you want. You're not going to get a court order that you want at all, because you're ignoring what your children want. And as parents, as leaders, as influencers of our children, do I want my daughter? So if I hadn't changed my approach, right? If I had not changed my approach, then my daughter would be normalising how I spoke to her mum, which was not appropriate, not okay. No matter what, reaction is a reaction, reactive, but that's not okay. That's not okay at all. Which is why I can't get into a relationship now, because I can't get into a relationship with anyone because I don't want to get into an argument. I'll probably walk away from an argument, but I can't. When you've gone to court, when you've given yourself somebody, and I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm giving myself all in, yeah. And I know there's other people out there that are going through the same or being through the same. Like, you give everything, yeah. When you give everything and you tell your darkest secrets, which is why I'm so open about shit now, which I'm grateful for. But when you tell your darkest secrets to your partner, and then your wife, or your husband, and then they use that all against you in court. Like literally everything. Why? 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 Oh, you had the history of this, had the history of that. Why is that now a problem? You were with me. It wasn't a problem when you were with me when you were shagging me. That's probably now you're not. The impact that has on your child, the impact that has on your children is massive. And I guarantee it, when your children get to like teenage years, 13 is the age I see. 13, as soon as they get to 13, that's the pinnacle for the child because I'm 13 now, I'm a teenager. That's the first big rock. Then it goes from there 13, 16, then 18, then 21. And after that, it's all downhill. Well, it's not really. But it is. If you remember, actually, is this wrong? Is this wrong? Actually, is this wrong? If you remember anything from like, for me, I remember the very little from like 13 to 33. I remember very little. Very little. So if you can remember that part of your life, you're doing something wrong as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't remember. I remember flashbacks, but don't remember much. My daughter will remember everything because she's so sensible. Like so sensible. And would she be that sensible if I was fighting? If I was arguing with her mum and saying to Lana, she has to come and stay with me. You have to come and do this. You have to come and do that. But then she's going to go home afterwards and she's going to get told by her mum, or be treated differently by her mum, or punished by her mum. Some might argue, well, you should go back to court, go back to court, go back to court. Why would you need them? This is the thing. You're going to court to get help to parent your children because you can't parent your children. Then you shouldn't fucking have children. I said something the other day. So a judge said, "Oh, X, Y, Z, offered X, Y, Z. Oh, I can't do that because I got my other kid over here. I've got that." Hang on a minute. You're in court for this kid. Yes, you've got other children with your new wife, but you still got this child here. You're in court now with this child here. If you're telling me you can't organise something between you and your wife to make sure you've got contact with the child that you're in court with, then why are you in court in the first place? And you want the court to give you a living order? And you're struggling to parent or make arrangements for your existing child, your new children? That doesn't make sense. And then they have the audacity, these people have the audacity to slag off the courts afterwards. I see what the courts are saying. I see what the courts are doing. I get it. I know how difficult it is for the courts. I know how difficult it is for the judges. For judges to say, what, who's telling the truth? Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? And then everyone's going to parental alienation. Mate, I guarantee you, half the men that complain about parental alienation are not being alienated by the kids at all. And they're not being alienated by the mums. They're being abusive, is what it is. And they can't accept the fact they're being abusive. That's fact. That is fact. They won't own their shit. They might want to blame the ex, this and that, and whatever else. But I tell you now, if I was to sit in half of these, if I was Superman, if I could get into all these hearings, if I could get around them all, I could fix it all. I could fix them all. I could say, right, you need to do this and this. You need to go and work yourself to do that. Go do that, and I bet you get a different result. And this is why. And then I'll tell you this now. And this is a fact, another fact. This is why Andrew John Teague fucking hates me because he had fucking what was it? I've dealt with so many of his people that he's been looking after for years, and I deal with them. It's like done in three sittings, because I'm real with them. I love Andrew John Teague. I think he's beautiful. I think he's a lovely person. I think he's a lovely soul, and I'm doing this from my heart. So I'm not slagging him off. I think he's a lovely bloke. I think he's gone out of his way to help loads of people, and I think he's damaged as a child. He's had a tough time. He's had a tough life, and my heart goes out to him. And I respect the bloke, and I respect him from my heart and my daughter's life. I respect him because he has helped people, and he has tried to help people. And anybody who's trying to help people should be respected because they're taking time out of their own time. They're taking time out of themselves, and they're time out of their day and their life to help other people, and that needs to be respected. Whether you've got different philosophies, different viewpoints or not, I don't care. I think he deserves love and he deserves respect, and I respect him massively for what he's done and the things he's done historically for family court and for people. But I think that's just my viewpoint. That's why he doesn't like me. But I have nothing against him. I think he's a beautiful, beautiful soul, and he's just damaged. And I think he deserves respect. He deserves a lot of respect. If I was to see him, I'd shake his hand and say, respect to you, well done. I don't want to hate. I have no time for hate at all. I have not hated anybody because life is too short, man, and I'm too good for that. I'm too good, far too good to hate. Spent too many years being angry, too many years being sad, too many years being like hating on people and this and that and whatever else. Fuck that shit. What am I teaching my daughter? I'm teaching my daughter how to love. I'm teaching my daughter how she deserves to be treated when she separates from a bloke in the future. Because if you're saying to me, all you parents out there that are fighting that you can't put, and this includes my ex-wife, that can't put their differences down, they can't put their differences down. You're telling me it's okay, right? So you're telling me, so my ex-wife is teaching my daughter that it's okay for her to treat men the way that she treats men. If I was to continue with that and retaliate that back, that would be me saying that it's okay for my daughter to be treated the way I treat my ex-wife. And that's not okay. I don't want anyone shouting at my daughter. I have said some awful stuff to my ex-wife when we were arguing in the heat of it all. It's awful stuff. I am sorry for that. I am sincerely in my heart. So I'm even more sorry. I'm even more sorry for doing it in front of my daughter. Even because that shouldn't have happened. Difference being, my daughter knows I'm sorry. My daughter knows that I did wrong. So my daughter knows that anyone treats my daughter the way she doesn't deserve to be treated, i.e. with respect, with dignity, then that's wrong and it shouldn't be accepted. I would have no right, if I was to treat her mum the way that her mum treats me, I would have no right to go and break some bloke's legs if he upsets my daughter. Not that I would do that, but couldn't punch my webpaper bag, to be honest with you, but still. I have no right to protect my daughter's honour if a bloke started speaking so badly and started treating her badly. Then what am I then? If I treated her mum exactly the same way? Because all I'm doing is I'm teaching my daughter that that's okay. So when someone starts shouting at my daughter and starts abusing my daughter's going to be okay, fine, yeah, well, my dad did that to my mum, so this must be okay, it must be acceptable. Okay. Think about it. And then you've got these parents, these mums, and you've got the mums that've got boys, that are parenting boys, yeah? And they're not, and the boys see the dad. Wow, and I've got clients I've got boys who I'm supporting who have said sorry to me for alienating their boys from their dads because now it's happening to their boys. And now the parents who did it to the ex-husbands, now they're grandparents, and then they're like, oh, fucking hell. Didn't realise it was this bad. I'm not seeing my granddaughter. And I alienated my son from his dad. And it's too late now because the dad isn't around anymore. People need to get things into perspective. Like, the world's a really shit place right now. The world's really shit. Not enough love going around, at all. Which is no doubt now, I've mentioned AJT's name, it's going to be like fucking bombarded of fucking trolls and shit now. But ultimately, I don't care. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm fucking good and I'm real. And I'm worthy. And I'm worthy of, well, let's put it like this. I was upgraded the other day and I feel sorry for anyone who goes against me because all I have to do is give you love. And love wins every day. And that's all I've got to say. And I want to say well done to the people who were in court today. And well done to people who were not in court today and had some good news as well. And well done to those that are loving people. And well done to those that are holding it fucking together and loving and just giving love. Yeah, when they want to hate and they're still giving love for the sake of their children and respecting their ex-partners for the sake of their children. Because I guarantee it, you put your feelings aside, and start thinking about your children, you're going to get a totally different outcome in court. Totally different outcome. And if you don't believe me, go listen to fucking Phil Kedge because he said it on something I saw on social media earlier. So, and again, respect to Phil Kedge, love the bloke. He is someone that I aspire to be like. Then I wouldn't be me, right? So he articulates himself really, really well, and he's got his philosophy is really, really good as well. And again, respect to him. He's like for me, he's like what was it? It's like Star Wars. Is it Star Wars? He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, is that the right one? But he's like the master, yeah. So, I just respect. I think everyone who's out helping people and giving good, solid, sound advice and supporting people as best they can, fair play. You might not get it right every time, but you're trying, and that's all that matters. if anyone wants proper help, yeah, and this is my point. Like, other people criticize my pricing and that sort of shit. Blown over. Like, I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing professional. I'm seeing like solicitors who do a shittier job than me, charging their clients at least £5,000 to £6,000 before they've even got into court. And the amount of shit that I do for people, I don't charge them a penny because I didn't feel valued enough myself. I didn't rate myself enough. I didn't value myself enough. And thankfully, my daughter has shown me and made me feel for the first time. I'm saying this, like, I said to a few people now, for the first time in my life, ever in my life, my daughter made me feel unconditional love. Like, my mum has never made me feel that way. My dad's never made me feel that way. My brother's never made me feel that way. But then a few weeks ago, me and my daughter were talking and shit. And she said something and she didn't realise what she was saying. And I was like, oh, that's unconditional love. And for the first time ever, I'm feeling that. I'm invincible. I've always been invincible. That was without the unconditional love. Now I've got unconditional love on my side, and I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm good. And I know what I do. Do you know what? My daughter spent the whole time listening to, like, hearing what her mum was saying about me. She's in my Facebook page, and she's in the Facebook group that I've got. She sees and hears me talking on the phone to all the people that I help. All the people that I help. You listen to her mum like slagging me up for years and years and years and saying I'm not worthy of this and that with us. And I felt like I'm not worthy. I felt like I'm not important because of the fact that how my mum, how my family have not made me feel like I was important. And my brothers felt the same as well. But ultimately, I now know that I am. And it's taken 43 years to feel that love that I've never felt before. And it's a beautiful thing. And I feel sorry for anybody who dares try and cross my path or any one of my service users, because all we're going to do is give you love, and all we're going to do is keep giving love, and we're going to keep winning because we're giving love. Simple as that. I'm going to clash out soon because I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just really happy for all the people that I'm working for and everyone that's done good stuff is going good in for. If anyone needs me, give me a shout. Peace and love. Lila's, is that the right hand? Lila's glove.